Okay, so we use the probabilities, just to recap. We use the probabilities to make 27 copies of this one, 5 copies of this one, 25 copies of that one, and 43 copies of that. The probabilities in percentages add up to 100. So let's just double check to make sure that we have 100 of your yields. I highlighted the 1 year yields, and down here at the bottom, it says count 100, right? At the bottom of Excel.
Yeah.
It says count 100. So that gives us a good feeling inside that we did it right. We rounded the probabilities to 2 decimal places. We made 27. I made 27 of these copies of that. I made 5 copies of that. I made 25 copies of that, and I made 43 copies of that, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to sheet 2 here. And what did I have here? I had the 10-year yield, right? The 10-year yield is, the 10-year yields generally are higher than the 1-year yields, right? So the 10-year yield is on the y-axis, and the 1-year yields are on the x-axis, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do this. I'm going to, I want to copy this data that I made in this sheet 3. I want to copy this data and put it in sheet 2. So I'm copying it in sheet 3, and I'm putting it in sheet 2. And I'll put it right here. I'm going to make sure there's nothing out here, right? It looks like I can put it in column H. Okay. So I put those, the copies in column. I got the number, right? I got the 1-year yield, and I got the 10-year yield. And I put them in H, I, and J, right? Now, the reason why I want to do that is because I want to create a scatter plot, and then I want to overlay this scatter plot with it. So what I want you to do now is I want you to copy this scatter plot and paste it over here. Yeah, they're copies of each other, right? Yeah. I'm gonna put this other one down here. Okay, this is the copied version of that scatter plot, right? Everybody see it? Copied version. What I want to do is I want to take this blue. See, when I click on this and move it around, I can grab the side of this blue and pull it over to here. See that? Okay. Grab the purple and pull it over. Oh. Let's do Control V. But wait a minute. Okay. Let's click on a data point. Yeah, click on a data point. So this is the copy, right? This is the copied one. This is the copy. I'm going to put copy in the chart. Okay, Excel is kind of cool this way. I can just copy it and use it. So I'm going to pull this. Oh, whoops, sorry. Click on a data point, and then you can grab the blue box and move it over here. Grab the purple box and move it over here, right? You see that? Now, there's only one point here, right?
I got the first one.
Yeah, did you click on a blue dot in the chart?
Yeah.
And then you want to just grab the purple one and put it over here too. Okay. Let me see. Okay, this is not copyright. Oh, you have it over there. Okay, so we want to click on a dot. And then just, you click on the dot, right? You can drag this blue box over here. Yeah. You can drag this purple box over here. Right? And then you just click on it. And then if you just click on it, not on the dot, if you just click on it, or on this box now. Now you can drag this down, right? Drag this all the way down to the bottom. And drag this all the way to the bottom. Does the chart look the same? Look at the dots. Are the dots the same? Yeah, the dots are the same, right? Yeah. But has the equation changed? We're gonna talk about that in a second. Right?
Okay.
So after you've copied your chart and you've dragged the purple and the blue over to your weighted points, weighted by probabilities, you want to drag the blue box down to the bottom. And then drag the purple box down to the bottom. Okay. Now looking at just the scatter plots. Just looking at the dots in the copied version and the uncopied version. If you look at the dots, are they the same dots? Are they the same dots, everybody? See, they're the same dots, aren't they? But look at the lines. Why are the lines different now? Are the lines different? They're different, right? Why are they different? This one's the unweighted one, right? This is the unweighted one. The probabilities don't enter into the scatter plots yet. Which one is the most likely point? The most likely point is the 4.5 and 5.11, right? This is the most likely point. This point has a probability of 0.43, right? This point has a probability of 0.43. What is the second highest probability outcome? Right here, right? 1.2 and 6.02, that's the second highest outcome. Right? And then the third one is what? Is it this one or is it this one? This one has the least weight, right? 2.31 and 6.34 does probably a 0.5. Notice when we equally weight the points, right? The line is in a different position. Notice which one has the biggest gravity. Let's think about these as being planets. This dot has the biggest gravity, right? This point has a big gravity. This point has a big gravity. This point has the weakest gravity. When they all have the same gravity, what happens? The line is closer to the point that has the lowest gravity. But when they have different gravities, the line's further from the one with the lowest gravity, right? See, this one's got the lowest gravity. These three dots here have the highest gravity. That's why the line is touching these dots. You see it? These are all equally weighted, right? This one, because it's equally weighted, it's not pulling the line toward it very much. And notice what happened to the equations. Oh, I got to get rid of the equation here. In the copied version, Emmanuel,
Yeah.
delete the equation, re-enter it. Reinsert it. Right click, reinsert the equation, right click on the line, format trend line, and then click on R square and display equation. Have they changed? Mine, when you edit the equation, it's no longer an equation, right? When you edit it, it's no longer an equation. Notice the slopes have changed. You all see that? The slopes have changed. What about the R square? The R square's changed too, right? This is the weighted coefficient of determination. This is the weighted R square, right? This is the unweighted R square. Y'all see it?
Can you repeat again one more time? What do you do for this?
Are your two equations identical?
Yeah.
They are? Which one's the copy? Which one represents the copy? See this one right here, Emmanuel?
Yeah.
I clicked on this data point and this is the copy right here, right? Or this is the original, right? This is the unweighted. Unweighted.
Okay, what do you do to change?
Yeah. That's the unweighted, right?
Yeah.
This is the copy over here. That's the copy one, right? That one's the weighted by the probabilities, right? Okay, what I did is I did this. Just if the equations are the same, click on the line and then hit delete. On the copied scatter plot, right? On the copied scatter plot, you should just have all of the data points, right? What you want to do now is you want to right click, add trend line. And then over here, scroll to the very bottom and click display R square and display equation. Okay, so you should get a different equation, right? Should get a different equation, right? Do you have different equations now?
So I have to delete first.
You want to delete in the copy, in the scatter plot where you're using the points weighted by the probability, delete the line. So click on the line right here, see? Click on that line and then just delete. Now it's just point. Now you want to click on a data point. Right click. You got it, Emmanuel?
Yeah.
And then choose display equation. Add trend line. Over here on the right, you'll see at the bottom check boxes for display equation and display R squared. You got it?
Yeah.
So the equations are different, right? All right. Now notice the R squared that we did last week with the weighted values. Notice the R scores are now matching. See that? The R scores are now matching. Right? See that? The R scores are now matching. So this is the weighted version of it, right? This is the weighted version. This is called weighted regression. Right? So going back to my open math, we're just finishing off question 2 from last week, which is in the video of last week. We're just finishing it off. So, this is the R square in the weighted regression, or the R square in the weighted regression. So 0.8716. Right? This is the intercept of the weighted regression line. The intercept of the weighted regression line. And this is the slope. Negative number in front of X is the negative slope, is the slope, right? Oh, I guess I didn't copy it. There we go. Now I got it. In this, the points all have the same probability, right? Here we account for differences in the points with their actual probabilities. Okay. Okay, so now we can make our conclusions, right? In the discussion 5 question, indicate what should be done regarding factory expansion using the weighted regression results, right? So did we conclude that we're in expansion, or do we conclude that we're in a recession? I conclude that in my model, we're in an expansion, right? The economy is growing. Right here, it tells you what you should do, right? You're considering adding a production line to your float glass factory, but you want to do so after a recession because history told you that property values bottom out and lending rates are pushed down by the Federal Reserve in the latter part of the recession. So you can wait. Companies know this too. You can wait for the recession to start. You know the Fed's going to fight with low interest rates. If interest rates are high because they're trying to fight inflation, like we're doing now, right? You wait until the Fed causes a recession. You're going to be able to buy land at cheaper prices, and you're going to be able to get that loan at a cheaper rate. So because I'm in an expansion, my conclusion is wait until the recession starts.